Hi everybody, what's going on? This week we installed a permanent solar panel on the top of the RV. Why don't you come by and see how we did it?
Just an itty bitty bitty bought a couple on the road, driving an RV, pulling a toad. No place special to roam, not looking for a home. Won't you come along with us? We are RPlaceTravels.
This is the solar panel we purchased from Amazon. It's 195 watt, and the reason we went with that is this RV is already pre-wired when we bought it for a solar panel. But we did a little research, and the maximum wattage you can put through them wires is 200 watts. So we went with this 195 watt solar panel from EcoWorthy. We'll put the links below to all the products that we bought to do this job. This here is where the solar panel plugs in. This is originally where I planned on putting it, but after doing a little research, this is over the back bedroom, so I pulled on a couple lights. The rafters on this are just 1 inch by 1 inch aluminum, and you can see all the wiring goes through the rafters. So the place I wanted to put it in the back there, I'd have to drill through some of these rafters with wires in them. I didn't want to do that. Plus, we ordered the framing layouts from Thor for our specific RV. You can go on their website, thormotorcoach.com, and put in your serial number, and you can get them off the website. But we didn't go that route. We just called them up and talked to the customer care person, and they were very helpful. We gave them the serial number of the RV, and they sent us the exact schematics we needed for our RV. And this is one of the schematics, and it shows a big backing plate, which it's like a membrane up there. It's like a backing membrane. It actually says on it for solar panel prep. So between the lights in the bedroom, the wires going through the rafters in the bedroom, and this plan, it looks like it was already designed to put the solar panel here. And it also plugs in better on the outlet up there on the roof. So I decided to move it to where we put it in. And this is where we're putting it in. And this is the schematic with all the dimensions of all the rafters on it. As you can see, there's a rafter on each side of this vent. So I took the center of the vent and put the marks on both sides of that vent, and that was my reference point for marking off all these rafters and where they're at. Then I took black marker and I marked off all the rafters where they're at on the roof. Alright, as you can see, my roof is filthy because it's a normal maintenance thing. We're supposed to wash and put 303 on this roof about every 6 months, but really haven't had much of a chance to do it or no place to do it. So before I put the solar panel on, I washed this area real good as best I could. I'm going to go ahead and put the 303 on it, because once the solar panel's on, it's probably going to be a little difficult. So before I put the solar panel on, I'm going to go ahead and do this. There's the rafter here, so I'm going to put one on this side, both here, right through the rafter. There's no wires or anything going through it, which I'll show you from underneath. But this side here, there are wires going through it. So this side here has the wire going to the vent, the kitchen vent. So I'm going to take that wire completely out, pull it through. Go ahead and put a bracket here to screw into this one. But that one on this side, it's got some major wires going through. I'm going to go ahead and back that bracket off because they have a backing plate underneath here, which is supposed to be specifically for mounting the solar panel, I believe. Which I don't know if I trust that for holding as well as I do the metal rafter. So I'm going to make sure I put this one in the metal rafter, that one in the backing, and then the two in the back will be in the rafter. There's a rafter running through here that I'm going to use to bolt the panel to. So in here, there's these covers. They just pull down. the wires come in here. That's why I'm not gonna bolt it over there, because the wires come in through here. So I'll move that back into the backing plate, that bracket. But there's another wire that goes from here that runs the fan. What I'm going to do is just disconnect that wire and pull it back through, bolt it into the rafter, and then pull the wire back through again. So that's the plan. I got to take this plate out, and you'll see the wire behind it, and then I'll pull that down. As you can see in the hole where the light was at, this here is the wire going to the fan. And these are the wires coming out of the rafter to run the fan for the vent. These are the two wires. One here, one here. As you can see them up here. This one and this one are running through. I'm going to disconnect them here. Pull them through. Screw the panel into the rafter. And pull them back through and connect them up. And this is how I did it. I just took a string, tied it to the end of the wires, pulled it through, and then it's there to pull back through when I'm done putting the screw in the rafter. And then I know the screw won't hit the wires. This actually didn't work out too well because that knot was too big to fit through the rafter with the screw in it. So I ended up just taking it off of there and pushing the wire through, and it went right through. I didn't have any issues with it. Okay. These are the brackets I'm putting on. And these are the brackets we bought from Amazon. It comes with all the hardware. Like that. I'm going to go ahead and use these holes for the one side. Basically the panel goes up there just like this. Turns over. And these plug into the plug. So I'm going to go ahead and put a bracket here with the bolts that are provided, and the front two to keep it on the joists. I'm going to center the hole, so I'll probably have to move that bracket and re-drill a hole on the front. Okay, they're 10 millimeter bolts. So bolt, washer, lock washer, and then nut. Okay, I'm going to push them all the way to the front on this little slot. Try to keep them both the same. Okay, the rafters are 47.5 on center. So, but the brackets, since they have two holes, I'm going to put it center rafter, and then that backing plate and the front one. The backing plate's only on the front, so the backing plate, this bolt will hit the backing plate on the front, and this one will just go right into plywood. So this won't be doing much of anything, but this one's in the rafter. This will be in a rafter. So 46.5, center of this to center of this. That's the center of my rafters. So I always cut an inch because I don't trust the end of the tape. So I cut an inch. I'm going to mark 47.5. That's the center where I want this hole. So I'm going to put this here, mark up that hole, that mark, and I'm going to mark this. That's where I'm going to drill my hole. Just to make sure. Close to that one. Put this where I want it. Because my cutting my inch, just make sure I'm not miscalculating. 46.5, hole center to hole center, right on the money. So I'm going to drill a hole. It's 3/8 inch in, 3/8 inch in, center to center. I'm going to drill a hole. That's the hole I'm going to drill. Silly me. See, I almost messed it up. 3/8 inch in where I marked it. And that's where I'm going to drill the hole for the bolt. Right. So I don't do something stupid, like slip through with the drill bit. Put this block under there, in case if I go too far. Just aluminum, so it should go pretty easy. Pilot it to the small one. See, I hit that, and if I wouldn't have had that block in there, I probably would have hit the panel and wrecked it. Okay, let's see if that works out. This here. There you go. And then just to make sure, pretty close. There's the hole there. There's the hole there. 46.5, center to center, which is my dimension. Washer. Washer. Lock washer. And nut. Okay. Now the other side isn't so critical because I'm going to put it through the, I'm just going to put it through the backing because it has wires going through the rafter, so they have some metal backing in there. I'm just going to put it through that. So 46.5. We'll go the foot. We'll cut the inch. 47.5. That's the center of my joist. Okay, the joist is 1 inch wide, so I want to make sure at I'm at 47. I want to make sure that hole is beyond this mark. 40. There's the center of the rafter. So there's the end of the rafter, 47. I want to make sure this hole does not hit that thing, which is pretty good right about there. It's back a little bit, and they got the backing plate in there, so I'm going to put this hole right there. That should be just fine. And it's 3/8 in to the center of the hole, and there we go. I'm going to cheat it a little bit more just to keep it safe. Okay, I'm pulling it up onto the roof. And bringing it over and setting it in place. I have a center mark here in between the two vents. 13 and an eighth. There's my center mark. And now I'm just pulling parallel from the side of the RV, front and back. Now that it's in place, just marking all the holes with a black marker. That's where I know where to drill. All four corners. Before I get too carried away, I better make sure I plug it in. The panel came with all the right connections, so it connected right up to the outlet that Thor put on there. Perfect fit. Pre-drilling all the holes with a 1/8 inch drill bit. And then once I'm done with that, I just take the screws. The screws are self-tapping screws. So I went ahead and even before I mounted the panel, I took all the screws and put them in all the holes to make sure everything worked out. The screws go right into where I want them to go into, which are the rafters and the backing plate. Did that to all four corners. Now I'm putting it in place. I'm going to put two screws on this side, one in the front, one in the back, and that's going to hold the panel in place. Then I'm going to the other side. I can just lift up the panel, caulk under the brackets, over the holes under the brackets, and because I put the screws on the other side, it just hinges off of there and stays right in place. Put the bolts in. I'm going to put 4 bolts on this side. I'm not even going to tighten them up. I'm just going to put them in so I can hinge it and then put caulk on the other side. Now I'm taking out the 2 bolts I've temporarily put in there, and I can lift it up because now the 4 bolts are in on the other side. I can caulk them holes and under the bracket. Now I'm caulking underneath the brackets, over the holes, front, back. Just set it down right on the caulk, and put the 4 bolts in. And I can tighten them all down now. Then I went back to this side and just snug them down tight because I left them loose earlier. And they are torqued. Now I'm caulking on top of the bolts. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bolts. So I'm going to caulk on top of the bolts. And as you can see, there it is, all caulked in, sealed, and mounted. And this is the caulk that I used, die-core, self-leveling. Now it's just a matter of putting everything back together again. I'm pulling this wire back through, mounting the vent plate back up. and the light. Try the light and the fan and make sure everything works. And it does. And it's working. The blue dot, the blue light is on, the red light is on, and the little charge meter is going crazy. So far we're very happy with this purchase. This thing actually charges our battery much faster than the actual charger that comes with the RV when you're plugged into shore power, which is going to be the next project. We're going to be replacing that charger with a 3-stage charger, but that'll be another date. Thanks for watching. I hope you can get some ideas or at least the courage to go ahead and try this yourself. It's not too tough. As long as you know where the wires are, look for the wires. There's really nothing to it. So, good luck to you. This is Bob and Cindy from RPlaceTravels.